Okay, P Street Garage, and I'm back out on my Cruze with issues. And what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna try to fix this gas gauge. In a previous video, I've talked a little bit about this issue. I checked all the fuses. I did everything I could. I think I have it narrowed down to the sending unit. So what I'm gonna do today is try to access this sending unit and replace the part. So let's pull the car in. It's a little bit too cold to be working outside today. I got the Corvette pulled out of the way. You can see how cold it is because the exhaust is just puffing away. We're just a couple degrees below freezing. So anyway, let's pull the car in here and see what we can sort out. Okay, so the first thing I did here is I disconnected the battery. Don't want any arcing and sparking when dealing with gasoline and electrical. What I'm going to do, and this is not the proper way to replace a sending unit. I have to make that really clear. The proper way to remove a sending unit on a Chevy Cruze is to jack the car up, remove the exhaust, drop the tank. There's all kinds of heat shields and stuff in the way. That is the way the garage would do it, and it would cost $1,000. What I want to do is I'm going to do things my way. I want to remove the back seat, and because the gas tank sits right under here, there is no access to the sending unit, but it is sort of right in the middle there. So my plan is to remove this back seat, and I'm going to cut a hole in the sheet metal to expose the sending unit and try to do my fix from there. This is going to be my attempt. Again, I just want to make really clear that this is how I'm going to do it. This is not what the GM dealer would do. But you know, I don't want to spend $1,000. If this was a brand new Mercedes, I would not cut a hole in the floor, but it's a 10-year-old Chevy Cruze. This car literally has almost no value. The value is in the use we're going to get out of it for the few $1,000s that we did spend on it. And if we can get this sorted out and get a gas gauge working, I think that'll be worth it. I did go out and I bought from GM. I bought this. Pull this out here so I can show you. This is part of the sending unit. It does not include the pump. I thought this would have came with the pump and everything, but it's literally just this, I guess some kind of a little rheostat here with the arm and the float. And obviously this is what will make your gas gauge work. AC Delco. There's all the parts there. 135-9-3309. And this was $156. So if I can get a gas gauge working for $156, I can certainly live with a little hole in my floor. Let's hope this works. All right, let's get to it. Okay, I got my back seat ripped out. So basically you just grab it by the front, pull the two front clips, and then push the seat back and it just comes off. And this is the area I'm going to be working. The lighting is not super great. I've outlined a little bit of an area here where I think the unit is. And so hopefully my hole's not too big if I kind of follow these humps here. I'm going to take the zip cut and I'm going to cut the sheet metal out. Okay, let's see how this goes. Well, we sliced through this. My gosh, this is very, very thin. But let's pull this up. I see a unit. I see the sending unit. I'm just going to bend this back. There we go. There. Okay. So this should be enough room to access everything. I have to be careful now because I'm back to all these a lot of brittle plastic clips and stuff, but I think this whole unit's gonna come out, and hopefully I've gone far enough this way. I think so, and I didn't go too deep that I didn't nick into any of the pipes or the wires, which was a real bonus. That was my biggest concern, was hitting some of these lines. But okay, let's I'm gonna try to maybe wipe this a little bit. It's a little bit dusty. Try to disconnect that wire. Try to pull some of these pipes off and get this unit out of here. It looks like a metal ring of some sort. Okay, let's investigate this a bit. Okay, I'm going to show these, got to take these electrical connectors apart now. So first I had to push a little tiny detent in here just to get this out. It's really kind of crazy. And then once this is unlocked, I think the whole thing comes out. So these, I mean, I don't know who designs these things. Smoke and mirrors, really. So you have to really push this little tab here with a pick or a nail or a screwdriver. Unlock this, and then this will allow this to come out. But yeah, it's pretty precise stuff. So there's one out of the way. Now I got to do this one, most likely the same thing. I'm going to have to push down on this, which is not easy. Push down on that, and probably this whole gray thing comes out. Probably can't do this. There we go. I think that just released, if this is focusing. So this is loose, so this whole thing should come out maybe? I'll tell you. Excuse the angle. Push this out, get this out of the way. Once this is out of the way, my gosh, this is crazy. Okay, this should come out. Okay, I think I'll have to go 2 hands on this one. I did not need 2 hands. I just didn't know how to do it. So with this one here, once the locking clip is out, you push down on this one. You push down and the whole thing comes out. Oh my gosh. Connections do look good. Okay, so I got these off. Now I got the fuel. There's a fuel supply and a return. I gotta sort these out now. This is probably hard plastic held on with some kind of an O-ring. So there's probably a way to squeeze these to pull them off. I'm gonna do a little bit of investigating first. Before I pull the fuel lines off, there's a little Schrader valve here at the engine. Let's see if there's any pressure here. Oh, there was, yeah. Okay, so I just depressurized the fuel line. Now, you're supposed to hook this up to a line and you're supposed to collect all this fluid. You're not supposed to have gasoline spraying all over your engine like this. But it's just a little blurb. I'm aware of what I just did. Again, this is my method of doing it. This is not General Motor. This is not the proper way. This is my way. So I just want to clear that up. Nothing wrong with doing this. Ideally, I could have even just had a rag there. I wasn't sure if anything was going to come out or how much. It was just a tiny little squirt. By the time I get this job done, most likely everything will be evaporated and dry. I'm in a warm garage today and I'm in no real rush. So fuel rail is depressurized. Let's get back to our fuel line. Okay, let's try this fuel line now. Got to squeeze and pull out. I'm going to be careful again. Every time I work on this car, I repeat myself. Brittle plastic, but that's what you're dealing with. I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Okay, squeeze. Squeeze, pull, and wiggle. Let's reposition here. Try this again. There we go. That is off. So stiff. My gosh. Ah. Come on. Don't crack. Of course, it's going to be right in the way there. But anyway. Now we got to get this vent line. And I think this one here is one of those ones that has one of those C-clips. Little plastic C-clips that you got to sort of push out. And then should be able just to lift up on this. Where is the little C-clip? Okay, I got to go in by feel. Okay, so I just popped the vent line off, and it did have one of those little C-clips, like I mentioned, and unfortunately, I broke it. I didn't mean to. I pried it on one corner, put the screwdriver in, gave it a wiggle to try to pull it out, and it just snapped. So, without this insignificant little piece of plastic, my hose will not seal on here. So, I will have to go out to the dealer, see if I can find this clip. Hopefully I can. I don't want to have to replace this hose, but surely we can find something for that. Okay, everything is now free. Time to remove the ring. And I think I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way with a screwdriver and a hammer. The ring is plastic. And I think the ring is plastic. The ring is plastic, and the tank is plastic, so there should be no risk of sparking. So let's try to do this somewhat delicately with the hammer, and see if this whole unit will pop out of here. One more wipe just to be sure. Okay, we've got movement of the ring, but we also have a lot of crumbs. Okay, I stand corrected. This ring is metal. So, not really a good idea to be banging on that with a screwdriver. Anyway, it's out. The tank is plastic, but the ring is metal. Did not know that. Let's see if this big unit will come up. And it looks like a pretty good size. Okay, there we go. Okay, I see more dust just got disturbed here. Let me pull the vacuum out again. Okay, well, there's our unit. Here's a part, hopefully, here's our part that's defective, and this is what I've bought. So, I have to take this over to my little bench and see how this all comes apart. We've got to replace this part, obviously. And there's our tank. Looks nice and clean. Unfortunately, it's very, very, very full. A young man driving this car was not supposed to fill this tank this much before I started this work. But anyway, we'll work around that. Let's get this over to the bench and see what it entails. Okay, well, here's my new part. Here's the old part. And it looks like there's just two little clips here. This was down like this, clipped in. I just pushed these two little tabs, and this looks like this assembly just moves up. Could it be this simple? It can't be this simple. Okay, maybe it is. Now let's see if there's any obvious signs. Not really. I mean, that looks like it's maybe a little bit worn, but I don't know. Well, let's hope this is it, because if when your gas gauge doesn't work, if it's not your sending unit, then what could it be? Unless there's a broken wire somewhere. Thing is, I mean, this car is only 9 years old. Like, could this already be worn out? I guess they are a cheap car. Does this one look any better? Maybe. Maybe this looks better. Anyway, it's just going to clip into place, and hopefully the wiring harness is compatible. It's just a 2-wire plug-in up here. Does it look bigger? Oh, it does look a little bit different. Anyway, let's try to pop this out. Obviously, no, maybe not. Maybe it just comes out. Gotta be careful now. I don't want to break any more clips. Okay, I see a little detent there of some sort. Okay, I think I'll get a pick and I'll push on this. I'll push on this little pin where the purple is, and I'll pull this down. Okay, let's try that. Okay, disregard what I just said. I just looked at the new one, and there clearly is a spring-loaded mechanism on the back. So if I feel the back, there we go. Okay, as simple as that. You got it sort of twirled around here in a nice fashion. Keep everything tidy. Let's cross my fingers that this is going to solve our problem. Let's hope. Oh my gosh. Let me guess, this is not going to fit through here? What the heck? Okay, I need to fiddle with this with 2 hands. I got to get this through here. Prices averted. This little tube just come out like this. It does pop out of its little groove, so you can snake this out. Okay. My gosh. Alright, well, let's try the new one then. Get the old one out of the way. So the new one should slide down just like this. Clip into place. Wow. Okay, maybe it's got a little bit more drag than the old one. Wore down after 9 years. Oh well. Put this through here again. And this can go back underneath here. There. Okay, I'll twirl this around 3 times like what they had. And bring this over here and plug this in. Wow. Be very happy if this works. Sorry, I try to keep you in the shot there. Doing this one hand. Okay, well that is it. If that was the issue, it definitely has more resistance than the old one did. Now, having said that, I hope it on an empty tank that wouldn't stay up like that. I guess maybe with a few bumps and stuff, it would go down. Definitely has more drag, so maybe just the little micro fingers on here were maybe just wore down too much. Let's hope that was the problem. Got a new gasket. Let's put this back in place. I will have to run out and find one of these little horseshoe clips that I broke for the fuel return. I believe this is the fuel return. Would make kind of sense, I guess. Well, in fact, well, I don't know. Maybe it's a vent. Maybe it's a fuel vent. I'm not sure. I'm not going to guess. It doesn't matter. There's 2 fuel connections. I broke the horseshoe clip. I got to go find one. And we'll put this all back together. And hopefully we'll have a working gas gauge. Okay, well, it's the next morning. And unfortunately, my repair of this float arrangement sending unit was unsuccessful. As in, my gas gauge still does not work. Very disappointed. I was going to try to dig in a little bit more before I posted this, to try to sort this out. I did follow the wiring harness on this 2013 Cruze. Goes out to the passenger side rear wheel well, and there's actually a large connector there right in the wheel well. So I thought, well, maybe that's buggered up, because what a hideous location for a connector. So I found that, I opened it up, I cleaned it, I reconnected it. Still no success. So at this time, I'm gonna make this a video, and I'm gonna post this. This was supposed to be more of a how to sort your issue, but this is going to be more now of a question. How do you fix a gas gauge on a 2013 Chevy Cruze? If you replace the float sender, now I did not replace the entire unit, as you know, but I did replace my sender, and still not working. Now, where the pieces connect underneath, there's a little bit of a junction here. I'm not even exactly sure what this is. Maybe contacts not being made in here, because this plugs in, and from underneath it plugs into this, but on the underside there's also a connector right here. So what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm going to close this back up. I'm going to seal this off with some aluminum foil tape. I'm going to put the seat back in, and that is my question. So for anybody that sees this, Michael Cope, what do you think? Or Ed, Whoop-Ass Racing, Ed, you're an automotive technician. Where should I look next? I'm a little bit stumped. Thanks for watching, everyone, and hopefully somebody can point me in the right direction on this gas gauge.